Hi everyone, this is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscription. They are greatly appreciated. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a collective reading, speaking in broad terms. You have to figure out if and where it fits in your life. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. Nothing's wrong or broken. You're not off your path or anything like that. You just might be working on something different at this time. This is, for those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. There is housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about, what decks I'm using, how to contact me or follow me on social media, or if you want a private reading, how to contact me. Also, how easy ways to support the channel. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy the content, subscribe if you're new to me. Share the video out so others can find me, and leave me a question or comment. Let me know that you're here, if the readings are making sense to you, or if they're not and you need more clarity, I can maybe help further explain. So, this reading is originally created for Tuesday the 25th of October. It is the night of the eclipse, or it will be. By the time you see this, you'll be seeing this prior to the eclipse. Pretty heavy stuff. It's, I believe, the new moon eclipse, correct? Yes, and I think it's the moon's entering into Scorpio. So, prepare yourself for that. I'm hoping it's going to be a good thing. A lot of people are saying it's going to be impactful, but I hope that it's going to be impactful in a good way. Me being a Pisces, I think, and the moon shifting into Scorpio, maybe people are going to start communicating in ways that I understand. So let's see what's going on with the card for the day. We have, she's back, the Fool. So we saw the Fool twice already this week, or was it last week? It showed up in the clarifiers and as the main card of the day. The Fool is about new beginnings. So we do have the new moon in the eclipse, right? Turning things over, underpinning this in the Sunday moon, which populates in the lower left-hand corner. You can watch that, is that Five of Swords. Now, in this particular deck, the Five of Swords, the center sword, the fifth sword is wrapped, standing straight in the center, wrapped by a snake, and it reminded me of like healing. It gave me like sort of, from the Five of Swords comes the Ace of Swords, was the message I was getting from it. And so I feel like there is a renewal here with this Fool card in a big way, right? Because it's major arcana. Let's say hello to new beginnings. Let's say hello to a new transition. New moons are always about sort of creation and what is it that we want to create or bring into our life. The Fool is about kind of, in my opinion, no limitations on that creation, right? Being open-minded, joyous, free, able to like dream, not afraid of anything, even to the point where others might think that we're being foolish or reckless in a way, but don't let that stop you, right? Be open to the possibilities, be open to the challenges that present themselves to you, especially through that Five of Swords, because there's an opportunity there. I definitely got that from the card. Remember that the grounding stone this week is about enjoying this time, right? It's also interesting to me too because of the eclipse and everything. You don't normally see the Fool depicted at night, and to me this is all the stars in the dark background. She's at night, so this would represent more like the moon shining behind her. And so that also kind of ties into the eclipse. The words around there, what does it say? It says purity, potential. What is that word? Risk, innocence, and desire. She's also associated with, the Fool's associated with the planet, I think, Uranus. So there's, kind of unexpected things that can come from the Fool, but they don't necessarily have to be negative. They can be unexpected positives. They can be new opportunities that we didn't otherwise see or that we didn't know were available to us. And so the thing is that the Fool has to have kind of the bravery or the wherewithal, the trust, the faith, the innocence, the purity that we see written on the card to kind of go forward, try something new, challenge oneself in a way that is fun, free, exuberant in a way, right? even if there is risk involved, it's like that phrase, there's no risk, there's no reward, or no risk, no reward kind of thing. So that's kind of how, sorry, the camera keeps going out of focus. That's kind of how I feel with the Fool, is like if we don't take this step forward, we don't ever really know, right? And even though the step might feel like it's on a cliff, she's focused more on the beauty or the flower or the excitement of the journey, right? The excitement of the lesson or the experience rather than, you know, the fear or the worry, right? That's kind of the freedom of the Fool. So keep that in mind today. If you find new things approaching you or new opportunities, new challenges approaching you, use them to your advantage. The Fool will oftentimes, and it could be the beginning of a whole new chapter for you. Maybe this next moon cycle is a whole new chapter of how we express ourselves or how we view ourselves or how we experience life. But that should be something that's thrilling and exciting rather than, daunting or fearful or any of that sort of stuff. And we do see that Six of Wands in the midweek, so we should feel this uptick or uplift with this Fool card here. That should lead us into that the acknowledgement or the adoration that the Six of Wands represents. Not to say that we won't slip into some fear later in the week, or some worry, but right now it's about like opening doors, bringing in new options, having an enjoyable time as we're doing so. Let's look to the Wild Mystic card. Oh, this is new. Highly intelligent and is oftentimes freaky, but really amazing animals is the octopus, and this is adaptation. Octopuses, or octopi, I should say, are extremely intelligent, and our card underpinning this week is wisdom, right? So, and they can like move in and out of like, I've watched videos of octopi where they like push their bodies in weird ways to like get into bottles and shells and these areas that you don't think that they can, but they're very malleable and flexible with no like bones in their bodies, right? Nothing rigid holding them, and that's also the freedom of the Fool, right? So as we adapt to what's going on around us via either the eclipse, the new moon, the situations that are going on, I think that we learn something, we open up doors, there's an opportunity here for us. So to maybe gain some wisdom, or some new perspective that is going to be to our benefit. Let me read you Octopus. This card represents adapting to new situations, flexibility, and adjustment. Octopuses are fascinating, intelligent creatures with the ability to adapt their bodies in many ways, from camouflaging themselves by changing the color of their skin to mimicking the movement of other marine life to squeezing in and out of incredibly tight spots. What did I say, guys? They are even capable of leaving the water for a time to avoid predators. Much like the salamander, octopuses are regenerative creatures capable of regrowing limbs and can disguise themselves with shells and sea debris to avoid detection. This card, and that's interesting to me too, because yesterday's card was protect, so we may not want to put ourselves fully out there yet with whatever the situation may be that we're dealing with. This card symbolizes adapting to your surroundings with ease and agility. It is the ability to think on your feet and outside of the box. That would also be Fool energy too, guys. The Octopus card may urge you to read a situation from a new angle or take a new approach to your problem. The Octopus is a creative problem solver, and this card encourages you to be the same. Take a step back and do not get tangled up in a crisis. Regroup and begin the resolution afresh. So that's that Five of Swords, guys. Like, don't get caught up in the melee. Shadow reading. In mythology, the octopus was often associated with the sea monster Kraken, a giant many-legged beast that was a favorite subject of sailors' tales. Folklore and art depict giant octopuses who tangle themselves up within the rigging of ships and dragging seafarers down into the ocean. When we consider these symbols alongside a shadow reading, it is the octopus as a representation of adaptability. When we consider these symbols alongside a shadow reading of the octopus as a representation of adaptability, it may be seen as a warning to get out while you can or not embroil yourself in something so much that you become entangled by it. Adapting, adjusting, and changing yourself can take great energy, and sometimes the reward is not worth the price. Correspondences are water. I'll take it because the moon is in Scorpio right now. The flora is balsam, peppermint, campanula, and camphor. The stones are cerussite, blue chalcedony, bloodstone, and brown jade. And the spell work is moving to a new home or country, travel magic, aid in seeing an alternative path through a difficult situation. That alternative path could be the new path of the Fool, too, guys. Now let's go to the clarifiers really quick. Sorry, I kind of have to rush through this. We have the Nine of Pentacles. I'm not mad at her. She's very grounded. She's earth energy. She is independent. She has everything she needs. She represents, really, to be honest, she's like the little sister of the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, right? I've said this before. If there were the Brady sisters, this would be Cindy Brady, right? She has everything she needs. She doesn't need anybody else's sort of influence, counsel, assets, any of that sort of stuff. It's all kind of within her and she knows it. We can rely upon ourselves. I love how her head is sort of tilted in the same way as the Fool. I feel like her Pentacles energy kind of grounds out maybe the wistfulness of the Fool a little bit, but that's a good thing. It keeps us on sure footing. Like where that Fool is standing on the edge of a cliff, the Nine of Pentacles is sort of making me feel assured that we're smart enough and wise enough not to necessarily step off of the cliff. We're going to keep our feet firmly planted in terra firma as we adapt and take new routes. Does that make sense in whatever situation we're dealing with? The next card is the Magician. Now, the magician would represent, he's also major arcana, he would represent a shit ton of adaptability. He has all of the elements at his access to all of it. Sorry, I can't think of the word right now. It's really early. And with the Nine of Pentacles, there's an independence here, and even with the Freedom of the Fool, there's an independence here in these three cards that feels really powerful to me, like a freedom that might be coming, an opportunity to shift, change, move things in a way that we didn't necessarily know was a present or available to us. Does that make sense? The Magician to me feels like empowered to make changes that will create, like, I want to say intense results for us in a good way, right? Like big results, because he is major arcana, and with that Fool there, it's like very unexpected energy is what it feels like. And that's why adaptation is expecting us or asking us to adapt, move like the octopus, like be more fluid, move in and out of things. We have the strength and the security or the stability of the Nine of Pentacles, but we also have the ingenuity and the magic of the Magician working for us to help us to create whatever it is that we need within the situation. We have access to sort of many different abilities, knowledge, whatever that it is that we need to utilize during this time to move forward or make this happen. And then the last card is the Two of Wands. Now, we had a lot of Wands energy yesterday, so I'm kind of glad that this is here because it still feels like some of yesterday's residual energy. The Two of Wands is about planning our future, right? He's holding that globe in his hand. It's like, which way do we want to go? Which path do we want to take? Where do we see ourselves? And like putting in the order. The Magician is all about creating that order. The Nine of Pentacles is all about grounding that order into 3D manifestational reality is what it feels like to me. Like the three of these guys are working together to move us in a different way, whether even if that move is like through a different way of thinking, a different way of communicating, because that would also be some of that Five of Swords energy underneath this. They're transforming something for us through our adaptation, through our openness of the Fool. And in doing so, it's setting a course, I want to say, towards something that we want or that we desire. That would be the Two of Wands. Two of Wands can oftentimes be about relationships, because it's two card, right? But it's also sometimes the relationship to the self. So maybe how we are relating or how we're dreaming is about to sort of, now I don't want to say dreaming, but desiring is a better word. What we're desiring or how we're desiring might become a little bit more clear during this time as we open up and to possibility and adapt and shift our focus and then channel that focus into the creation of this new opportunity. Now, here is the grounding stone for the day. It is angel. So I always, with this one, it's always like call upon your angels, spirit guides, your God, whatever that is, or even your own higher self to come in and assist with this. This feels extremely transformative. And maybe this is because of the eclipse. And it feels very spiritual in nature. Because not only do we have the Two of Wands, but we also have the Magician, right? But it's grounded because the Nine of Pentacles is there. We're ready for it, is my feeling. Call in your angels, ground in your angels, enjoy this transformation, enjoy this adaptation, allow it to transform in front of your very eyes, and understand that at some level, through your desire and your willingness to sort of focus or place attention on things via the Magician, you're able to create the pathways with which you're about to take, is my feeling. It's an exciting time. That is your reading. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We'll see how this all changes and transforms. Have a wonderful day and take care. All right, bye-bye.